Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading for September 2021. And this is a reading for Aquarius Sun, Moon and Rising. Okay guys? And if you're new to the channel, keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate with all of you Aquarius out there. And if it doesn't, feel free to check your other placements here in the channel as well. Okay, and if you're already a subscriber, then you might have noticed that I didn't record videos for the last few months, and I was going through some things. I needed to take some time and space, but now I'm back with the monthly readings. Okay, so just one last thing but I finally got my audio back. So if you watched previous readings now for this month, for the month of September, for the previous zodiacs, for any other placement that you might have, you will notice that the audio is very low, and I'm very sorry about it. But I had some problems with my audio recording, and I only noticed after I had already done several readings. Okay, but Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces should be good. So Aquarius, we open up with the card that represents you, that represents your energy now in the month of September. And we have the Lovers. Okay. We had the Lovers in the same position for another zodiac. And the Empress in the environment. Okay. Interesting, Aquarius, because I think that usually we don't have love readings for you, but this month I am feeling a very strong romantic vibe from these two cards. We'll see the rest of the cards, because for some of you it might be something completely unrelated. This can be an archetype of your own self, an aspect of yourself, but I think that for many of you, and especially if you're single Aquarius, you might come to meet someone at this month. Okay, because first, the Empress in the environment, I'm seeing her as a strong archetype of someone who might come towards you. Okay, so you might be meeting an Empress archetype, and even though this is a female card, this is just an archetype. Okay, so this can be a man or a woman, whatever, but this is someone who has a lot of self-worth, someone who is very stable, who is very centered, who knows their value, and who knows the power in getting what they want through attraction and not brute force. Okay, so this is the opposite of the Emperor archetype. The Emperor is Mars, he goes after it, he gets it. But the Empress is a Venus archetype, and Venus is in our chart. The Venus planet is about what do we want, what do we attract, what do we value. Okay, so this is a person who is very connected with that. This is a very feminine energy, a very yin energy. Even if this is a man, it is still a man who is very connected with his yin energy. Okay, who with his feminine aspect, his feminine energy of the receiver. Okay, of attracting, of, yeah, it's very magnetic. Okay, and with the Lovers here in this card specifically, it's almost like you falling head over heels for this person and learning a lot from this person. Okay, and if this is not a romantic interest, if you're not looking for a romantic interest, if you're already in a relationship, and this can be just someone that you might still meet but will just teach you a lot. Okay, so for instance, let's say that you are not looking for a relationship, you're not looking to be connected romantically with someone, but then maybe this is a time you need to connect more with your feminine energy yourself. And by coming along with this person, by meeting them and interacting with them, they might teach you how to connect more with this feminine side of you. Okay, so take it as it resonates. I don't know if this is a romantic interest or not, but I do see you being very enamored. Is that a word? I think I'm saying a Portuguese word if it's in an English way, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I think you just find this person very attractive. And even if it's not sexually or physically attractive, it's just energetically attractive. This can be someone that you just admire and you're like, this person, I want to be like this person. I want to know how to express my feminine energy in this way. okay? So it can be that as well. If this is not someone that you are having a romantic interest for. Okay, Aquarius, very, very funny, very interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. We have the Hermit in the reverse, the Temperance, and the Knight of Wands in the reverse, okay. The Sun in the reverse, the Page of Pentacles, and the Hierophant, okay. The Ace of Wands in the reverse, the Magician, and the Five of Wands in the reverse. Okay, wow. Yeah, this is very past versus future kind of reading here for me. It's showing where you're coming from and where you are moving towards, okay, where you're going to. So where you're coming from. Actually, I'm gonna go like this. Okay. Because with the Hermit in the reverse, I see here that you have come from an intense introspection time. And this makes, yeah, that's just clear that you are. Because Saturn is going through your zodiac right now, right? So if either you have Sun, Moon, or Rising in Aquarius, Saturn has hit it, or is going to be hitting it, or is still hitting it this year. And when Saturn hits one of these angles, it can really impair how we feel about ourselves. It can impair our own self-esteem, our self-worth, our emotions, how we see ourselves. So for instance, if you have the Sun in there, you might feel less confident, okay? Your self-esteem might be very fragile. Your ego, you might feel like you cannot accomplish what you want, okay? You can feel a bit depressive. But because of your own self-image, okay? You might just feel that you cannot get what you want, you cannot accomplish what you want, and you just cannot express yourself and be who you want to be out there in the world. Now, if it's hitting your moon, if your moon is in Aquarius, then it will hit directly your emotions. Then in this case, it's more likely that you might feel depressed, very low in energy, sad, gloomy, okay? And if it's your rising that is in Aquarius and Saturn is hitting it, then it can change how you see your own physical body. You can feel, also with your Sun, you can feel pessimistic and just insecure about your physical body, about your image, about your life purpose as well with the Ascendant, okay? How you show off to the world. So with Saturn in your zodiac, I think you have been going through some of these feelings. And then we have the Hermit in the reverse here, which shows me that you are coming out of it, okay? And Jupiter has moved back from Pisces, is now in Aquarius. At this moment, I think is around 25 degrees of Aquarius. So Jupiter is bringing its expansion, its optimism back into your zodiac. So especially if you have a placement in Aquarius that is more towards the last degrees of Aquarius, okay, between 20 and the last 10 degrees of Aquarius, then it will especially be hit now by Jupiter. So you might feel more optimistic. You might start feeling a bit better within yourself, okay? So you are coming out of this moment of introspection, of having to think things out, feeling lonely as well, because the Hermit is a very lonely card, okay? And you're moving slowly. You're moving out from this because we have the Temperance, and the Temperance is about flow and it's about healing as well, but it's a slow flow. And I can see that with the Knight of Wands in the reverse here as well. Just because you're coming out of that moment, it doesn't mean that you're suddenly going to be super bubbly and optimistic and jumping around. No, you're coming out of it slowly with the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Okay? Definitely coming out of it slowly. Even a bit afraid, I think. A bit insecure of, should I be too happy? Should I be too optimistic? Should I be too good in myself? Right? With this Knight of Wands here. And with the rest of the cards, I also think that for many of you, this can indeed not even be a love interest. This can just be someone who you really admire, who will teach you how to love yourself better. Okay, this love that you might be feeling here might be more for yourself than for someone else here. This seems more like a lesson that you are learning with these other cards. Okay, you are learning how to regain your confidence again with this person, whoever this person is. Okay, this is almost like a teacher. And for those of you whom this is a romantic interest, this can also be someone who will come into your life to help you love yourself again. And I feel like we have the same message all over in every single row, okay? So here again, the sun in the reverse, and what I have just been saying about the lack of confidence, the lack of self-esteem, come right under the hermit in the reverse. And there was a need for you to go into the hermit mode, and it was because you needed to conserve energy. With the sun here, I said this, you needed to conserve energy. It was almost like a hibernation time for you with the sun in the reverse. And I don't know what happened to you, but you really felt lacking in confidence here with the sun. But it is starting to change bit by bit, but in very small steps, okay? So with the Page of Pentacles here, Aquarius, I would really tell you to be patient with yourself and with the confidence that you are rebuilding for yourself. Because it will not come from night to day. You will not just suddenly feel like this Empress. This Empress had to put a lot of time and effort to build herself up for her to feel amazing like this. Okay, so this will not come from night to day, but it's very inspiring. Hey Aquarius, sorry, I had to stop and change my SD card because it stopped, and I'm not sure where the recording stopped, so I might repeat myself a little bit here. But what I was saying with these cards, what I was saying with these cards is that this person, they didn't just come out like this, okay? And they have built this confidence, they have built this self-esteem for a long time. And whoever this person is, if this is a romantic person or not, they are just going to be very inspiring to you. You can really look at them and be inspired by them to become like them, okay? But this will come in small steps. But it's slow and steady with the Hierophant here. And the Hierophant also tells me that, yeah, indeed, this can be a romantic interest for some of you, okay? For some, I feel like not for the majority of you. I think that for the majority of you, it's really someone who is inspiring you to regain your confidence. But for some of you, it can be with this Hierophant, it can be a higher level of commitment that will start slowly and develop to something bigger here. But the Hierophant is also an aspect of Taurus, is also a card of Taurus, and so is the Empress, okay? So, and the Taurus is the ruler of the second house, which is the house of our personal values, of our resources, and what we value, so also our own self-esteem, okay? So you are moving towards it, you are building yourself up towards it. And something else is that the Hierophant here, he also represents a connection with your own intuition, with the divine, with your higher self, okay? So this transformation is not just in your belief in yourself, but in the belief in the source. You will also become more spiritual, more connected here in this process, okay? And you will realize that if things didn't work out for you in the past, and some things here haven't worked out, and maybe these are some of the things who made you feel insecure about yourself here, are opportunities that were lost, things that you wanted to accomplish that you couldn't, you will realize that there was a reason for that, and the reason was that there was something much better coming. But you needed to build it first, because that's the difference for me here. The Ace of Wands is almost like a divine opportunity that is offered to you and you just grab it, okay? While in the Magician, he has the tools, but he has to build it himself. The magician is a master, he's a builder, he is an achiever, but he has the tools, he has the connection with all four elements. But he's the one who does the work. He casts the spell, okay? He prepares it. And he manifests it. But it doesn't come from the sky. It's not just offered. He needs to do it. He needs to put the work. He needs to build it himself. And he has everything he needs for that, okay? He has the knowledge, he has the tools, he has the skill, he has everything. But he still needs to do it and manifest it himself. So that's what you are noticing here, that whatever you couldn't have in the past, whatever didn't come for you, didn't come because there was a lesson in building it up for you, for yourself. There were things you needed to learn first. Okay, there were skills you needed to acquire here. Because you needed it to be stable, right? To have a foundation, to be solid. The Hierophant is very solid. This is something that can't just be ruptured, can't just be broken, can't just be lost. This is Taurus. It's very reliable. Okay? And the Ace of Wands here, it could have come, but it could have gone as well, because Wands is not a Pentacles. It's just a spark of energy. You grab it and you have it, but it can vanish. Okay, it's fire, so it's immaterial. While Pentacles is earth, okay, you can touch, you can grab, and you can have it. So there was a reason why you didn't have this in the past, okay? You needed to learn some things first, and you needed to build it for yourself first. And now, with the help of this Empress, you are really starting to build the foundations for it. Slowly, but very steady. And even though you are ruled by Uranus, you are also ruled by Saturn. And you are fixed. So Aquarius knows that things need time and effort to be built. This is a lesson that comes with the Saturn rulership. Uranus wants it to be original, wants it to be creative, yes, sure. But it needs to be solid. It needs to last, okay? And with the Five of Wands in the reverse here, I actually really love, because I feel like this is you stopping the fight with yourself. I almost feel here like you have been in a battle with yourself, fighting against yourself, fighting against your own nature, fighting against the patterns that you needed to change. And we cannot change part of ourselves if we are constantly antagonizing ourselves. We need to accept it first and love ourselves unconditionally, so that we can work on those things, right? So I see this Five of Wands here as you finally seizing the fight against yourself and working with yourself instead, okay? That's a beautiful reading, Aquarius. So let's get some oracle cards for you, just to close it off. Reflect. Indeed, and we have the Emperor in the reverse. Reflect on the lessons that you learned. Make sure that they are being internalized. Take some reflection time for that. Don't just think, oh, I learned this, now I can move on and forget it. Make sure that you are internalizing them. Okay? Wow. Okay, so orphaned. So for some of you, this could be childhood patterns, okay? Childhood things and patterns and stories that you are starting to release. And it's painful. It's hard to look into those things. but that's how you are gonna achieve that Empress, okay? So this Empress could also be someone who is helping you look into those past memories, into those childhood traumas, and heal them as well. And actually, more and more, I see these lovers here as love for oneself. It's almost like she's in love and with her own heart and with her own self here. Okay, Aquarius, so that's all I have for you this month, and I hope you enjoyed your reading. And if you liked it, please drop a like and subscribe down below, because when you give a like or a comment to this video, it really helps the channel to gain more visibility. Okay, and I'll see you next month. Take care. Bye bye.